So you made a decision and now you are second guessing the decision you just made. Or you had a conversation and you'd said something in that conversation or in a meeting, and afterwards you were replaying every single word you said, thinking of, oh, if I had said it this way, if only. You can't undo it. You can't go back. Instead, you're in your head about it. I wrote a song about this called I Go Back. And that's exactly what our brain is trying to do when we second guess ourselves. And most advice out there tells you to stop second guessing yourself, which is about as helpful as that advice sounds. We both know our brains are going to do it anyway. So instead of trying to shut it down, what if there is a different way you can look at this second guessing and actually get some benefit out of it? That's what we're going to talk about today.
1, 2, whoo!
Welcome to Authenticity Lab. I'm Dr. Kelsey Miles, a chemistry professor and a musician. This is the podcast where we run life experiments because the world makes us think that life has a right answer. But it's not something to solve. Life is something to discover. So I teach you how to think like a scientist and create like an artist because you need both critical thinking skills and creative insight to really develop the life that you want, to navigate any uncertainty thrown your way so you can discover what's really true for you. Today, we are exploring the question, why do I second guess myself? Last week, we talked about why do I always care what other people think? And the key takeaway was that you need to care more about what you think, not to just stop caring. But the problem with this can be that once we start really caring what we think, we can start second guessing our own thoughts, our own decisions, our own opinions. When you start using your voice, when you start stepping forward and saying, this is what I think, that's when we start to go, uh-oh, what did I just say? What did I just do? Was that the right choice? Was that the right thing to say? It can almost feel worse when you start using your voice. If you've ever been in that situation where you tell yourself and get the confidence to speak up, it almost feels worse than if you had just stayed quiet. But this is the part, this is the discomfort we have to move through, not around. Because there's nothing wrong with you using your voice. You're just not used to it yet. That discomfort just means you're in a new phase. We're just practicing. You may have spent years trusting other people's opinions and what everyone else thinks. So, of course, it's going to feel uncomfortable when you start to really lean into what you think and what you like. And here's where most advice doesn't help someone like you or me. When you're told to just stop second guessing yourself, yeah, that'd be great, but it doesn't work that way. Or just trust your gut. Yeah, well, I'm not sure about anything right now. And when advice tells you just to stop second guessing, it's actually saying that second guessing is the problem. And it's not the problem. Second guessing is actually a very useful skill if used correctly. Let me say this clearly. Second guessing is not the problem. It's how you use it. There are two types of second guessing, and on the surface, to other people, they look like they're the same thing, but they feel very different. The first type of second guessing is the type that keeps you stuck. It's when you constantly replay things, you keep circling back about what you said and how you wanted to say it differently, and it feels heavy. And the key with this one is that you're really not learning anything. You're just staying stuck in a loop of rumination. And that's what my song I Go Back is about. I go back every time. And in the lyrics of my song, I say, I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. Because if you keep thinking about the same thing, it doesn't change anything. Underneath it all is part of you that questions if you can handle it. If you can handle the decision you made or the thing that you just said. If you can handle the aftermath of it. And it's concern. It's trying to protect you. It's second guessing what just happened to make sure you are ready and prepared to fight or flight, fawn or freeze based on the response or the consequences. There's a second type of second guessing that actually builds you up, that helps you hone your skill of discernment. And that's when you ask yourself, was that really the best decision? based on what I'm experiencing after the decision. You might think things like, what did I learn from that? Or, next time I'd probably tweak this. They look the same because you're still asking questions about, was that the right thing? Was that the best thing I could have said or done? But the difference is it's coming from a foundation of trust. You trust yourself to handle whatever happens afterwards. It's not as heavy. It's more critical thinking about what just happened to see if you would do it differently next time. You trust that if it didn't go how you wanted, you'll adjust. So it's not attacking yourself. It's not preparing to fight or flight. It's really just wondering, was that the best thing that works for me? It's adjustment. It's refining. So second guessing really isn't just about the decision. It's whether or not you actually trust yourself to handle, to adapt, to pivot afterwards. Because if you trusted yourself fully, you wouldn't think, did I mess that up? Instead, you would think, well, I learned something new. It wouldn't feel like you had so much pressure around that decision or that comment that you made. If you knew that no matter what happened, you could handle it, second guessing wouldn't feel bad. It would just feel like curiosity. There's also the extreme opposite, which is never second guessing things. There are times in which we might not second guess a decision we made because we want to go all in on that choice and say, no matter what, I'm going to stick with it. Now, on the surface, that sounds fine, but what happens if you don't like your decision later on down the road? You are allowed to change your mind. There are times when the decisions we make don't serve us anymore. Both can still have this foundation of not trusting yourself. How can you stay open and curious while also trusting the decision you made at that time and being open to changing your mind? That's where I want to shift us to. So let's get into my framework. Calibrate, experiment, optimize. So the first step is to calibrate. Get super clear on what decision or what thing you said that you're second guessing. Get clear on it, not the future things that could happen because of it, but just that decision. And you're going to ask yourself, did I make the best decision I could with the information, or the time, or the data, or the situation that I was in? Did I do the best I could? And that with that specific decision. Now separate what you're worried about. When we second guess for future thinking, what we're concerned about. So name it. What are you worried about? Name it. Be really clear. The second step is to experiment. And this one is going to be a perspective shift. What if instead of seeing this as the final decision and the final answer, you asked, can I just sit in this decision and see what I learn from it? No certainty. Like, be okay with not being certain if this was the best decision. Allowing whatever data to show up. Staying curious, saying, yep, that's the decision I made. Let's see if I like it. And then the final step is to optimize. Ask yourself, after a little bit of time, say, what do I like? What do I not like? What do I want to adjust? What insights do I want to move forward with? What ways do I want to refine the way I bring it up or the way I made the decision? Did I learn anything? This is how you build self-trust, not by making the perfect decision, but by trusting yourself to refine it if it doesn't work for you anymore. So the next time you catch yourself second-guessing yourself, don't just try to shut it down and say, I should stop second-guessing myself, or double down on the decision and just say, I don't care what happens. I'm going to stick with it. Stay open. Say, yeah, I'm not really sure if that was the right one for me. I'm going to experiment a bit and I'm just going to see what I like and what I don't like, and I'll adjust next time. You can ask yourself, am I attacking myself? Does it feel heavy during the second guessing? Or am I really just open to learning and I'm curious, man, was this the right thing for me? Because one of them keeps you very stuck, but the other one helps you refine and revise what you're going to do moving forward. And that's really powerful. And second guessing, we know, doesn't always happen after you make the decision. Sometimes we second guess so much that we can't even make the decision. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next episode. What happens if you can't even make a decision? So go run your life experiment, because your self-trust is built one discovery at a time. Life isn't something to solve, it's something to discover. So be bold, be curious, and be you. And I'll see you in the next episode.
that house will always call you home.